Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Radiant team pick.
Outworld Devourer.
Dire team pick.
Vengeful spirit.
Radiant team pick.
Dark Seer.
Radiant team ban.
Welcome back, guys. Game number 2 here coming up for you. Epicenter Southeast Asian qualifiers. We're in the lower bracket where Team Rave
10 seconds remaining.
Mineski. Now, game number 1 was a little bit messy, a little bit scrappy. Rave, they managed to claw their ways away from that split pushing Nature's Prophet and get themselves a nice winning game number 1. And it looks like Mineski will be banning out the Furion up against Rave. But this draft is a little bit different to the last one, and I'll welcome in my co-caster, Mopax. Alchemist, Master, still the same initial bans, but Outright Avenge is your initial 1-2 here for Rave.
Yeah, so we're skipping out on our Nature's Prophet this time, so he won't be making an appearance, being banned out, and Rave will be grabbing with the spend. So very different than our last game, and we do still have the Faceless Void, but it looks like I don't know. I don't believe I've seen Rave myself do the Bat Rider, so I don't know. Yeah, it looks like, okay, they have run it recently, and it was in the mid lane, so one would assume that it'll probably be for reorg. Seems to be having a little bit of a resurgence. It's kind of went like mid, and then it was all off lane, and now we're back to like kind of a little bit of mid. You know, people are starting to dabble back in it. It was stuck in off lane, I think, for a little while there, but kind of excited to see it. Darkseer, haven't got one of those in a while. Obviously, the mech heroes in general kind of falling off. Like Viper, not a big priority this patch. One of the best reasons to get Darkseer, plus a little bit of control he'll add into the OD, and I wonder why they went for that over the Faceless Void.
Sure. We've definitely seen like the precedent of guys that create these little summons. You know, your Nature's Prophet, your Beastmasters, try and sort of force supports to be around, and also get that knowledge and intelligence about when support is stacking and being your mid laner, safe laner up to tabs on whether they're being ganked or not. Rave, all of this displacement. Look at that, Disruptor and Vengeful Spirit. So paired up with a Bat Rider and Mineski. Don't really think twice about picking up the Spec there as their 4th pick. So OD Spec with Darkseer Oracle. Final hero for them is going to be kind of roaming support, it looks like. Go that way. Bounty Hunter obviously banned out, Enchantress also.
10 seconds remaining.
So what they'll look towards. Spirit? No, already taken out as well. There's not much left in the support pool actually, as they've been prioritized in the bans.
Yeah, I have seen them. Mineski themselves were willing to whip out the Nyx Assassin actually themselves the other day, which was kind of cool. But not so sure it'll be up against the Rave lineup we have here. For them, the off laner. Okay, yeah, so they are going to send the off lane Bat Rider. That's a nice little mix up right at the end actually to snag up that Invoker. That puts a little bit of pressure here on Mineski. You definitely want to get something good to pair up with your OD now, right? Like, gotta get some focus down on some Invoker. So, do you consider something like the Tusk? Is that going to be enough to try and get up in his face? Obviously, the Enchantress you said banned out. Could you just go for the Chen still?
I guess you could, and then that kind of alleviates the mech from the Darkseer as well. He can go, you know, Arcanes into go Blink, maybe even a Pipe or something like that, and deal with the massive amounts of magical damage coming out of Rave between the that and
Reserve
Invoker.
time.
Yeah. Hard about this one. What other options do we really have here? You know, melee supports not really that prioritized. You know, Earthshaker hasn't seen a lot of play. I think Phoenix here probably one of the better heroes though. Just having that additional heal with the Oracle as well pairs up really nicely with OD and Spectre. Darkseer vacuum back and all this kind of disables and a big team fight. Call them up. Well, you know, Rave. Gonna rely on.
Oh, they're
Sven.
still lying.
Oh, you're right. There is still the line out there. That's true. But I keep thinking, you know, Spirit Breaker, Undying, Abaddon, all these kind of annoying melee supports, they don't see the light of day anymore.
No, Rave actually picked up a Spirit Breaker the other day, if I recall, and I was kind of hyped up to like, it's Rior? I thought maybe he'd just take it just for the old time's sake, you know? It's like every game back at DAC, I think it was, and he was picking it up non-stop, but I mean, that's an option there. I kind of like the idea of some chaos here in these team fights, because you have the Sven, and it's all about the chaos, it's all about kiting the Sven so that he can't get that perfect little dream situation. Well, Doom creates some chaos, right? Suddenly you don't have a disruptor in the fight, you know, he can't cast anything. So great up against the Invoker as well. So I kind of dig that here. I think that's why kind of Witch Doctor's so popular. He's like the king of chaos, you know? You never know where that cast is going to go. You can't have team fight synergy. And just trying to click some keys and suddenly you can't do anything. Doom ka saken rior. Ha 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 ha. Wag me, please. Man, I just do not. I don't get P noise.
Not packs. Please.
I do it for the fans. Boom, these Jules.
Keep on going.
I said it's like an alphabet, you know, it's not like when it's the Russians and you just
Cyrillic
it's
or-
Cyrillic. Yeah, you got nothing, man.
Well, at least it's not like Cyrillic I can deal with. Arabic and Hebrew are difficult because I've never learnt that alphabet. Greek is also pretty difficult as well. Like Cyrillic is relatively learn characters into syllables kind of thing, but no. Latin's always the best. Valkyrie, Darkseer heading up towards the off lane. Jules, let's support Doom. Control up jungles and maybe roaming onto lane. Jesse Vash on that Oracle as Ben-Hur up the OD at this time around with Potato Spectre. They're trying to set the tempo for themselves a little bit slower because Rave have the faster moving team and a lot more chasing power here between them with Jo, Warcry on the Sven, Derp,
30
Glimpse back on that
seconds to
Disruptor, Ninja Boogie stuns and swaps galore with a Vengeful Spirit, and of course the Real Sunstrike flying out from global range. Whether or not Rappy can get that Blink Dagger at a reasonable time. He's gone for Boots first for this offlane bat. He also has his offlane cap and ready to utilize as Mineski didn't feel it necessary to move the sentry down and block it up at all. Now, Raging Potato. Twice about that one, my friends.
The battle
Badgerun should go to the mid lane as one apiece. Rio Invoker and Ben-Hur on the OD. Solves that, but just look it up at the top. The Doom and Darkseer dual offlane. All ion shells. Could be pain here for Rave's lane.
What is Rappy doing down here? He's doing some sneaky little plays trying to steal the wave.
Looks like he'll succeed in it. Where does he drag it across to? Does he take it the long way around? Or I guess try and make it past your creep wave and meet up nearer the tower? Well, that's what he's aiming for. Get to level 2 a little bit faster, or is he doubling it up? Second, what are you doing? Try and double up the creep wave. Drag it all the way around, and he's going to lose a lot of his HP actually here. Jesse Vash takes the high ground, and Rappy, you've got one Fairy Flyer.
Rappy?
Very, very low. It's not going to be enough to kill him off there with a final hit, but he stays the safe route anyway. Keeps the creep wave with him. But he will get this secondary wave come through as well to get himself up, maybe level half, get close to level 3. That's when he can look towards this offlane camp. He has missed out on the stack though. Be able to take that one up, but that was a little bit interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it does kind of like, it basically guarantees you almost the full experience of the second wave as well. And I guess he was just feeling like he wasn't be able to contest the Oracle and the Spectre. Once he goes home, if he can get up to level 3, he'd be a pretty formidable opponent in this lane, honestly. There's not that much... oh, wait. Now, Oracle, you can debuff. Would you take off the napalm stacks? Yeah, it works, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's an issue.
So you kind of just stand, you stand next to your Spectre, and if you've both got stacks on, you just
Yeah.
fire it out and take them all off. Well, we'll see if that actually happens. There's Rio's Invoker, so far 2 and 3 against the 8 and 3 of Ben-Hur's OD. The easiest of lanes, and when they roam in the Doom and Oracle as well, they've got the damage output here onto Rio. He throws the Sunstrike with a little Force Spirit out as well. He's looking for the kill, but the Fairy Fire keeps Ben-Hur alive, but not long enough. Trade off at 1-for-1, but OD gets some experience back from that kill that he gets initially. Gold as well, but it's not bad for the Invoker, you know, a lot of time expended by these supports from Mineski. Still gets the kill off the OD.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
That could have been a lot worse, but top lane, bo3 not having the bestest time. I suppose pretty much the same as Rappy, honestly. Both heroes relatively similar in terms of how well they can transition back into the jungle and how that's going to impact their item timings. It doesn't generally make the biggest difference, but bo3, like, you know, you just really want to apply that pressure as the Darkseer. And does he have the Soul Ring done? Yeah, I don't know, he doesn't. He has to get a clarity. Yeah, he only has 3 last hits.
At this point in time, Rio's just waiting for his cooldowns to come back up. Sunstrike and Cold Snap, they saw Jules move across, but they want this OD, I think. He's going to give up on that and actually move himself across the arena, who has no mana. Or anything.
The Courier!
Sunstrike, he's going to have a lot of damage placed down onto him. Ninja Boogie needs a couple more hits though, and the Courier, you're right. Flying now, last, but force the Darkseer away from this camp. And then packing back to base.
Unfortunately, just a little bit too late though, with the obviously being dead here, so can be pretty pleased with that. And Rappy, he's kind of done his own thing back in the jungle too. But if you're not applying pressure as a Darkseer, the pick is just not nearly as good, right? Like, you really want this double Iron Shell spam already up on top of JO. You want to be destroying these last hits for him, and with only the 2nd point up into the Iron Shell, it's good, but it's not perfect. It's when that 3rd level comes where you're like really disrupting everything, and they don't have the best stuff to deal with it, right? Like, it's a disruptor. Like, he can't exactly single burst down. It's not like the Oracle, who can not only just debuff your Iron Shell, but it's the fact that he can nuke down those creeps that he even could have it if he wanted to. Like, you don't have any of that magic damage.
Yeah, they've got good ways of killing Darkseer, but not good ways of dealing with his actual laning presence, like you're saying. JO with Quelling Blade and the Cleave start whacking away at these creeps, but we're seeing here. Iron Shells are a pain in the backside. Mid, Rio already taking a bit of punishment from that OD as they control up all their runes on top of this. Got his bottle, he does. He's got his bottle coming out to him, but he didn't have it on him just then to take up the bounty rune. Down at bottom lane, how are we looking for the Batrider? He's hit level 4.5, he's got his Tranquil Boots as well. Raging Potato though, he's leading the last hit chart, and he's not really being forced back at all by that bat. Try to secure this mid lane for Rio against an OD.
Oh, Rappy.
On last hits, is he in trouble? There's the nice little damage output between Fortune's End and the Purifying Flames. Gonna contest that pull across, but Raging Potato very quick on his feet with the newly purchased phase boots.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Little
attack.
dagger, level 3 already. Mid lane though, Rio phased out by the Scorched Earth. There's the blast as well, and with the damage output from Ben-Hur, he keeps himself alive with a very fine noise. The stick charges, but it's not enough. They turn back around with the damage of the Ben-Hur, the kill of the end Jules onto the tower. He kills off the little Forge Spirit, but a good rotation in from the supports of Rave. A 2-for-1, but again the Invoker dies
Radiant's
first.
middle tower is under
Is
attack.
not Han Solo in this situation. That will Devourer. I mean, looking at this, and it's not great for either team. It's kind of this 50-50. Like, do we really want to be diving into these kills so often?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, it's kind of a I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a neutral gain or something here. Like, both teams were just like getting a lowered kind of net worth across the board. You know, everyone's items might just be a little bit later here, other than of course you're a Spectre who's still kind of killing it.
Is it no sum game?
Yeah, pretty much.
3-6 minutes in, 1 kill a minute. There's room for Ninja Boogie here. This could set up for something, and Invoker backed himself up into the jungle, so he does have that global artillery of the Sunstrike ready. Find a target with Firefly down onto Jesse Bash. Find Fortune's End himself, but with the rest of his team moving across this ridge, it looks like he'll be okay. Attempt to be made. Mineski. Last hits on your Spectre already racking up a lot of this farm. You know, Raging Potato, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. The OD start things off, Boogie scouting out to the back end, Astral onto the Invoker, and with the rest of them coming in, stun into Thunderstrike, and they've got the DPS. Ben-Hur already uses Astral, so he can't be defensive with it. They'll take him out. The OD is gone. Jules as well, but the sticky napalm charges. Look at that, he's trying to turn, trying to get himself away from him. Turns back as well, but the Horde comes in. Real shredded by that damage. Apple from Raging Potato, but the Sunspot comes around onto him. Real gets taken out, but Ninja Boogie, the Blueprint plays with the down jump, but not going to be enough. And it looks like Mineski, they'll lose a couple here. The Urn takes over the Vengeful Spirit, but Jesse Vash chased out under his own tier 1. And again, good trade there for Rave as they kill off 4 freaking heroes. Almost a 2k gold swing for them.
Yeah, and who better to get it all stacked on right now than the Bat Rider? Jeez, if he didn't have those tranquil boots too, you'd be thinking he'd be opting right into those really early boots of travel, you know? It'd definitely be one of those great games to have it. Where you can certainly imagine there's going to be plenty of moving around the map just between the OD and, or rather the Spectre haunting around and trying to catch up with like blinking ODs and everything like that. Very S4-esque, if you will. Like, what can you really get done with a blink dagger when it's this early, you know? But either way, that will be the case since he does have the tranquils, so they'll have that. They can smoke up. The support's not quite at a point where they can help them, but you do have the Sunstrike, so that's reason enough, honestly.
Ring of Aquila Invoker.
China Dota. Because they kept picking up the Wraith band. That was kind of the thing in China. And I wonder...
Invoker?
Yeah, they would get like a Wraith band on China, like starting off mid.
Dire's top tower is under
I
attack.
guess after the Agi nerf. That was the reasoning. I shit you not. It was happening. I saw it a lot, like Shanghai too.
Like, I'm kind of like safe lane heroes going Ring of Aquila if they're Agi or not, but Invoker, interesting. See exactly what he does with that. I mean, you know, fair enough, you know, the extra armor, you get a nice little boost there. That little item slot, you know, that Bastia has always been a great item for Exalt Invoker. You get that mana regen, nice bit of damage, but like the armor you get for it, Horde Spirit as well as Jules. Sunstrike forthcoming, but Aeon's up on the high ground with the God Strike stun. Bullet swipe to clear him up until the Astral actually saves and Ben-Hur is ready to Sunstrike. Is it on target? No, barely. Gonna miss out on the kill onto Jules, and Jay is now trapped here alone up against 4 heroes from Mineski. Aggressive stuff not paying off there for Rave.
Tried a little bit like almost a cutesy bait there, using Ninja Boogie to bring in, but just Jules walking on up. Oh yeah.
Ben-Hur into the connect field, he Astrals himself up, and Rio, he's in the fire and the flames as this Outworld Devourer, and it looks like he will kick them back into death and destruction. With the Fortune's End and potential heals coming from the Oracle, going to be able to save him.
Well, yeah, exactly. Through all of this, right? Like picking up into these drums. And Joe, we know he's a hard farmer. We know he likes that kind of a style. And I'm wondering how the way that he tends to play this is going to be able to respond to that. Because the Spectre's going to be very farmed, he's going to be very active. And maybe the fact that Mineski are bringing that fight to them could actually help out Rave in a lot of ways. Because I don't think he's as likely to pick up the Blink Dagger as maybe other Spectres or Spens are that early.
And Sven doesn't do a massive amount of damage back to the his ultimate up. They're looking for the glimpse back, and they'll find it in the static storm as well. Reggie Knitter tries to get himself away with the face boots. Jo even pops the God Strength. DD Bat Rider there. Oh, kill him off with Jules now actually very far forward in this lane. They've got no mana onto Jo. No arcane boots for 15 seconds. They'll be able to find any further additional kills. Need to try and spread this map a little bit more for Rio to get into his Midas, because, you know, 11 minutes in, that Midas on your Invoker, this little sod's having a pretty rough time against the OD, who drums completed almost.
I wonder if he'll be heading into, like, he's got the drums. Is it really an Athos game against the Sven?
Oh, they found him up at the top.
Speak of the devil.
Give him the gold. There we go. That's perfect for them. Give money to Rio as much as you can and as often as you can. Be away from Ninja Boogie, gets him away from the Spectre down at bottom lane, but they're trying to aim in onto Rio's Invoker mid. Jesse Vash Oracle is just biding his time and waiting. I wonder if they start with the Astral or if they go in with the Fortune's End, because Oracle trap has been set. Going with a Haunt to give vision. They're actually going to try and jump in onto Rappy. The Raging Potato runs himself forward. A TP in here from the Disruptor for the kill. The damage has already been done. Derp now. He's in the firing lines. Raging Potato, the damage up from Jesse Vash trapped in the poor little Disruptor as well. So close to be off the mark, but they'll kill off one. Jesse Vash will die at the very least. He's never Raging Potato stunned up, hiding in the trees. But Jo, he finds him. The dagger across the swap energy, but he doesn't get the stun out. Raging Potato somehow escaping a certain death scenario. And getting himself away from the barking dogs that are Rave's heroes, looking for blood. They were desperate for kills.
Yeah, just not quite having that wave of terror, unfortunately, to see over the trees. It was on cooldown at the time. So Ninja Boogie, he tried to make the cool play, tried to go for the swap stun, but barely survived. And how about the play? The fact that Raging Potato just like tanked the full tower shots, knowing that if he went down to the bottom, he was going to get Sunstrike. And he was precisely right. You can see was the Sunstrike when he started to make his way down there. Just trying not to be too predictable, ensuring that he would survive. So Rior, he's doing fairly well though on that Invoker. Like, he's pretty far up there in terms of the net worth, keeping up with the spend. He has the Midas going, and this time it's going to be the Spectre's turn to be well ahead. But this is just like last game, right? Last time it was the spend for Raging Potato. That was a glimpse back mid lane.
The ulti is there, but still goes through, and Ben-Hur, he's going to be dragged back to the last one as well. Rior's going to try and bail himself out, but the damage output way more than enough. Overkill even for the Outworld Devourer, but against an OD you make damn sure that you kill him off and he's got no chance of escape. And with the rest of Mineski now grouping up towards mid, there's 4 heroes here with Rave diving in deep. They've got no ultimates left to throw, and the vacuum back into the wall as well. Rior and Ninja Boogie both caught in, and they've got the Doom onto the Invoker as well. Jo, he popped his got strength a while back, maybe to clear off the Ancients, but cannot enter the team fight, and Derp will get chased out and killed off. Raging Potato secures yet another kill. Way too deep.
Why did they dive that?
I have no idea.
I mean, you would think they were the ones who had the Disruptor or something, or the Bat Rider. You know, I don't know what ability it is that pulls 4 heroes under a tower for no reason, but Mineski used it as a great advantage there. So now Jules, though, he will be a victim down here. Just the rundown. Casual burning sensation.
Burning sensation. Lovely stuff, Mopmax. Thank you.
Thank you. I try. Yeah, man, I don't know, Rave, like, come on, where's this nice decision making that you know, I've been kind of touting you guys for? Having yourselves a good first game, you know, quit the slacking. That was just some random stuff. Everything was on cooldown. They got the nice pick on the OD, and I can understand wanting to pressure the tower, but they just went in a little bit too crazy that time. Where is Jo's items? Something's flying out here. Is it the, looks like he's going for it, the old Sange.
Yasha. Well, you've seen the Yasha on Raging Potato, so Manta style. That route not far away. Could go dip back into the Radiance if he wants to. Outworld Devourer, this hero who was, you know, 2xing the Invoker in lane, now mid-table for net worth. He's actually dropped behind a fair amount. Ben-Hur's been ganked, what, 4 times in quick succession? He's 1, 5, and 5. 2 last hits. They kill off the Darkseer at bottom lane. My bad. Down on that one, but the smoke retort here from Mineski kills Ben-Hur and Jesse Vash. The rotation across. Jo's lacking in mana. Don't have any arcanes trying to keep him sustained, but they give him the tier 1. Rapping with no Firefly. We'll start off with the Haunt. The Spectre makes a name for himself. He jumps himself forward on the jail. They'll trap him with the Fortune's End, and Jules does a Doom in 5 seconds time, but they don't even need it. The nuke damage from the Purifying Flames is more than enough. Take down Jo, and they stood around for far too long.
Yeah, kind of again. I mean, at least this time they did get the objective in the tower. They're only going to lose Jo. Probably could have been a little bit worse, just considering they did use the Haunt and had some nice vision over everybody, but there was just enough of a gap, so they'll have to go back, lick their wounds. And the Force Staff, it's coming in soon for Rappy. I'd like to see like maybe another smoke play, because they do have the lasso on cooldown, and you saw just there was a good execution of just like numerous chronospheres so far, like today earlier when we had where they were just trying to get every single kill right off the chrono, and I think you gotta do the same idea with this lasso. And so they have smoked up down bot, and obviously the key target's got to be Raging Potato. Gonna find him.
Blink lasso, Rappy, dragging him back into Sunstrike, but there is that nice big ulti from Jesse Vash, saving the Spectre and trying to keep you away. Look at Glimpse back though, they've got him. Now a TP from the Spectre, swap as well, 2 ultimates both expended, and they'll just jump straight on it. Again, Jo's here to try and slam him out, but Ben-Hur stealing himself down, standing himself, building himself up, the damage level's not quite good enough, but Rappy will escape with a feasting of blood, But there's a backpack into the wall, but the DPS of the Doom back onto J.O. He cannot cleave his way through this. And Mineski have turned what looked like a surely lost team fight into a 4-man sweep, losing only the Oracle. Invoker will get his split push gone into the mid lane. But Mineski come out on top. I'm feeling dizzy.
Yeah, things are getting a little bit confusing in these team fights. Between everything being thrown about, the swaps, like a little bit of, I guess, lack coordination. You know, it's understandable, right? Like they had to break the TP, but maybe there was enough time possibly like move forward so the swap wasn't quite so drastic, because they ended up pulling Raging Potato away from everyone else on the team, and they couldn't input the damage in time. Actually brought it closer over to Ben-Hur, who then just throws up the Astral Preservator, and then that brings in the reinforcements for Mineski, cleaning it all up there.
Whew. Having some difficulties catching up. 3,100 gold, so it looks like Raging Potato will opt for the Radiance and not the full Manta style. Want ready, and with the DD rune, he could maybe look to pinch a kill onto one of these risky little supports, but Jo clears through yet another ancient stack, and Imagine Yasha, usually done by this point, 17.5 minutes in is where you really aim to be building into your next big item, the BKB or the Blink Dagger. He's looking okay, but he's still okay behind the Spectre, not where you want to be. You want to be racing ahead, catching up. Dogs here having Mech, Blink, Arcanes. Eski are in dead to actually take team fights and forward into these tier 2s, control Roshan up, and get OD some farm, which he is severely lacking at this point.
Yeah, it's true. We haven't mentioned too much about bo3, but him just coming to these fights, having the mechanism, it is, again, something that has really been lacking. Like, there's just not the big mech heroes anymore. Tidehunter, one of the other ones, but just with the rise of Faceless Void and even the offlane Batrider, and losing out on our Viper, like, mech's kind of gone down the tubes, which I just find so surprising still. Considering the number of like team fights we have now, it seems more common that we just end up with like a support with Greaves at like 35 minutes or something, you know? Maybe your Bounty Hunter or something at like 20, 25 minutes getting to those mechs, but it's an item that's always so valuable when you're non-stop fighting, and that's just what we see almost every single game this patch. I mean, especially in the Southeast Asia region, let's be real. These guys love it, so Dex here, solid pick here. Once he does get up into those Greaves as well. That aura, it really can't be discounted against a lot of this damage over time kind of stuff, like from the Firefly, just from the Static Storm, really helps out with the big buff dropping down low, and that armor against Sven too. Like, that's something that's so underrated about the item. It's what, 15? Yeah, you have 15 aura armor. Like, hello?
I mean, hello? And that's what Jules thinks today. Oh, back into the center door. They turn back around with Dirt, landing off the damage. Look at the heroes there and blocking off that choke point. So only Disruptor and Avenger dead yet, but Jo chased down by the Spectre. And it looks like Mineski, they're clearing up house here as bo3 blasted by the Satyr, but he's still got Rappy under wraps. And with these Force Spirits being cleared up, it's going to be a Roshan for Mineski, maybe even the catch onto Invoker if they can find him. This is the trouble, the Invoker just hasn't made an impact in these team fights. And with the jump and catch availability of Mineski between a Haunt and this Blink from Darkseer, it just seems so easy for him.
That was like the anti-caster curse. You know, bo3, how we even talked about having himself a good game. That vacuum wall, making the mad plays, that was a pretty sick Static Storm too, like to try and disengage it from Derp, but was not enough in the end. And now Ninja Boogie, here you go guys. Finish that road shop a little bit faster, and oh, maybe a kill too.
Ninja Boogie swaps back, but he's vacuumed in. He'll get the Meteor onto Jules. It's not going to be enough damage. And Rio giving up his life there. Most of the Jesse Batch Oracle secures the kill with a good purifying flames. Rave, they look to contest, but they only ended up giving a couple of kills away with the last one back. The glimpse, oh man, that's not the best combination. Jo, he'll come in with a stun and that God Strength. But Jules has actually got this Purge available. Not going to be enough for Jo. Still actually slowed down there. Having the Radiance, they're going to try and chase down Rappy. Hector, twice about committing too heavily to this team fight, especially when Jo Sven still has the God Strength running. Ben-Hur not available to team fight as he's up at top lane.
Alright, well, kind of again here. So some more chaos coming out, but it looks like Rave, they do clean up a little bit at the end of the engagement at the very least. Get a little bit of gold out onto Derp, so you can start going into this Aether Lens here. I don't know, this is feeling kind of scary, isn't it? The side of Rave, I mean, look at that lead. Oh, Mineski. And I don't feel like they have these mad comeback heroes. Like, it's a Bat Rider. He needs to go for, like, some sort of a lasso play. And maybe when the Invoker gets up into something like that, Aghanim Scepter, and he's got the Yule Scepter for the more defensive rather than the Blink Dagger. But every single time, just this Radiant Taunt, you know? I don't know what they can really do here.
It feels like they're in this awkward situation where they feel they've got Teamfight Ultimate, the static storm field, the Invoker with his Meteor and all that, and the Bat Rider to find the pick that they want to fight, but they can't fight into Radiant Spectre, they can't fight into this Doom who has Ether Lens. It's just so difficult. I think Rave's gonna have to hold high ground and hope that this Invoker gets fat enough for the late game to try to defend up against Mineski, because you look at Mineski, right? They don't have natural BKB buyers. The OD is probably the only one there that you look at and think, right, he goes BKB. So Rave, if they get the perfect opportunity to get a static storm and to spend cleaving through a bunch of them, then fair enough, that's what they can do. But in the meantime, or Mineski overcommit, or you get a little bit too ballsy and push past tier 3s or something, you just have to sit back and farm yourself to 30 minutes, 35 minutes, where Invoker has some kind of itemization. Because he just has Yules and Midas.
Yeah, and even with that too, it's going to be a lot of pressure to try and shut down this Spectre. Like, once with this Doom too from Jules, like, he has the Aether Lens if he wants to move into after the drums, maybe that Blink Dagger as well. You're going to be losing one of these tools. Oh, and the Haunt quickly onto that high ground of Rapping. He is just dropping fast.
Bat Rider.
Oh, the swap over as well.
Rage Container, they got the static storm down onto it, but it's not going to be enough to look a freaking die. The Sunstroke lands off his head and the kill from the tower. They finally pick up the kill on Spectre as Rior doesn't get the tag, he doesn't get the name. Does get some of that experience and gold, but they don't get the majority of it. Spectre gets himself 4 kills pretty much there as they... Oh man, it's just disgusting. Disgusting amounts of damage from them.
Yeah, that was a pretty sick play. Thanks to the warding coming out here from these supports. So Mineski playing a much crisper game this time, and Rave looking worse than Mineski did, you know, last game. I don't know if they have that same kind of a comeback potential with the Aghanims and the Octarine, obviously from the Prophet, allowing a little bit more breathing room for Mineski, where they kind of had this opportunity. Even combined up with the Lion, right? Like, yeah, you have a Bat Rider, but you can only perform that same task once every, what, 75 seconds for now, and I don't know. Yeah, the Aghanim Scepter is just a ways away. Without the Blink Dagger on Rior, I feel like it's going to be harder for him to farm it up too. Like, Dual Scepter doesn't really give you that same defensive capabilities, and even then, if you had the Blink Dagger, there's still the Haunt potential from Mineski. They don't really have the map to get back into it. Oh, the Courier comes in and snags up. It's got that drum recipe. I think it's going to go down here.
Are they even going to be able to kill it? They can't. Oh.
That's
the saddest thing ever. I mean, Jo, of course, not having a Blink Dagger, and this Bat Rider trying to blink and force across. Getting the kill on the Courier there, just like insult to injury, honestly, on top of all of Rave's worries and woes. OD, for the past 5-6 minutes, he has literally just been standing top and farming. Just shoving this lane, farming away at the top, and Blink drums, 3.6k gold, very quickly transitioning into that BKB if he desires so. It's just item after item though from Mineski coming up thick and fast, while Sven and Invoker, they're lagging behind. Well, Rave would love to have an Aghanim Scepter onto Derp, this Disruptor, something along those lines. But only the Radiant support that are getting their big items. Doom now, Ether Drums. What I'm thinking about is Blink Dagger for next. Use of Blade on the Spectre, even more damage, and we've already seen what she can do up against these support, even up against the Bat Rider. They're jumping in 1v3 and clearing up all of them.
Yeah, and if the game wasn't hard enough already, like, there's a Blink now out on Jo, but can he even make good use of it this game? Radiance. Oh, they're going in, but they're all here.
Oh, they've got the lasso for the Astral Imprisonment there, the Doom back onto Jo. The Vacuum as well will catch him in the wall. And this aggressive play from Rave, they're going to lose 3 heroes. Where did Vengeful Spirit die? Oh, she died in behind tier 3.
Oh, he's going.
Spectre is just demolishing everybody. Kills off 3. Without even breaking a freaking sweat. Behind tier 3s and down, it's just game over. GG's called 1-1. Mineski with relative ease take game number 2 here in his best of 3. So we're going to game 3, ladies and gentlemen, as Rave against Mineski goes the distance here in the lower bracket of the Epicenter Southeast Asian qualifiers. Myself, Durka, and Motpax, my co-caster, we will be back after a short break because I need to get something to drink and eat because when I said I was feeling a bit dizzy, I wasn't freaking joking. The sickness has kicked in. My brain is not working properly. Oh yeah.
That makes two of us. Don't worry, we're good.
This game has sent me for a loop. I will be back in a couple of minutes. Hopefully my brain and my mouth works